Hey, and welcome to my journey. Today's video is my weigh-in video. Now, let me just tell you, same you know what, different day. I'm just going to tell you my weight, and then we're going to talk 1 minute about it, and that's it. So I weighed in at 328 for a gain of 6 pounds, and that puts me at 49.1. So I'm not going to sit here and talk about it for hours about, I know what happened. And all I'm going to say is, unless you have been through it, and if you've been through weight loss surgery and you know the brain games I'm talking about, I wish you would tell me below, because that's what I'm playing. I'm playing brain games. It's not that I can't say no to food because this, that, or the other, or I'm self-sabotaging because of this, that, or the other. It's a brain game I'm playing, because unless you've been faced with a forever life-changing event that you're choosing, I'm choosing to do this. So it's not like it just hit me and, I didn't know what was happening. I'm actually choosing this, and I'm playing this brain game with myself, with food. And that's all I'm going to say about it. I don't know what else to say. It's just what's happening. I don't know what else to say about it. I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm not going to make an excuse for it. I'm not going to say anything to anybody, like defend myself for anything, because it's just what happened. And it's the things I'm going through, and it's however I'm dealing with it, that's how I'm dealing with it. So I know what happened, and that is that, as they say. We have better stuff to talk about than my weight. Okay? So let me let me tell you about this Facebook meme. Let me tell you first, I had COVID. Last week I had the head cold. Well, it turned out it was COVID, and David got it too. So we're not sure if we got it from the birthday party, if somebody was a carrier. Nobody's been sick, nobody else. If there was like a carrier and they didn't know it, or if we picked it up when we were in West Virginia, when we went out to eat or at the Goodwill somewhere. With COVID, you just don't know. It's just like when you pick up a cold or you pick up the flu. You don't know where you get it most of the time. You just get it. So I think that's the road that our rest of our life is going to be on. Just COVID's going to be the next common cold, I think. That's what I think. But I got over it really fast. The doctor gave me that Paxlovid. She called it the emergency drug. It was my choice if I wanted to take it. She said I qualified because of my health risk. Hold on just a minute. This coffee's hot, so I'm going to try not to slurp. And she said it's an emergency drug. They didn't have, 4 or 5 years to study it. It's the one the president took, the vice president, everybody, all the higher ups, they took it. She said, so it's your choice. I'm like, I'll take it. If it'll help, I'll take it. So the only thing I didn't like about it was this nasty putrid taste it has put in my mouth. Last night was my last dose. Thank goodness, because I could not go. It was a 5-day regimen. I couldn't go much longer with this taste in my mouth. Listen, I was eating and drinking anything I could get in my mouth to make that taste go away. It was like sucking on a roll of pennies that had been in swamp water in liquid metal. I don't know. The most putrid thing. It tasted almost like tooth infection. I'm not even joking. It's disgusting. I've lost my taste for food. I can hardly taste any food. Can hardly smell anything. So I'm hoping all that'll come back. But as long as that nasty taste in my mouth goes away, I think I'm good. But anyway, we're both doing fine. We're over it. We got through our quarantine and everything, so we're good. But what I was going to tell you was, in my Facebook memories a couple of days ago, it was probably, I done forgot now, maybe 13 years ago. Holly was in high school. Well, I took her to a birthday party at her friend's house. And this is in a residential neighborhood, but there's a church there. Good-sized church with a a real big side yard, creek running right through it, and a row of trees. So I didn't go that way. Well, did I go that way? I think I went that way. Didn't see anything. But when I was by myself coming back, I looked over by the creek and the trees and I noticed a body laying there. And I kept looking and it wasn't moving and it wasn't moving and it wasn't moving. So I was going down the road slow, just looking and looking. I'm like, okay, something ain't right. So I went around the block because I'm like, that, no. I come back through, I'm looking, and that thing ain't moving. I'm like, oh my Lord, help me. I have done discovered a murdered body. So I go over, and I'm far enough away in the church parking lot that I don't, I don't got to be close to it. And I call the police. I'm like, oh, you might better come over here, to the so-and-so church, because there's somebody laying out here in the field, in the yard, whatever you want to call it, and they've not moved. So, well, he comes. I wait over here because I want to know. I'm not leaving the scene of the incident until I know. He walks over there. I tell you, it's a good little ways. I mean, I can still see. He walked over there and I think he nudged him with his foot first, and he didn't move. So he got down there and he was shaking him. I was like, oh my God. If that is a dead person, I'm going to vomit. And then I'm going to die right here on the parking lot. He kept pushing and pushing. But the next thing I know, the dude got up and he's just... he couldn't stand up. Home dude was snockered out of his mind and passed slam out. The policeman come back over there. He made him go. He made him go on. He started walking across. I don't know where he was going to go, but he had to get off that property. So the police would come over there to me, and we were just talking about it. I'm like, yeah, if he hadn't moved, I was over. I was done. So that was my excitement for the day. Oh my gosh, it was some kind of excitement. But listen, talk about what a segue. Talk about exciting news. I have exciting news, and David has exciting news. I'm going to give you mine first. I am waiting to be scheduled. Yes, all my clearances were made and approved. Now I am just waiting for a scheduler to call me and give me a surgery date. Yes. Yes. I am so excited. I cannot see straight. I cannot wait. I'm thinking it's going to be sometime in October. That's what I'm thinking. That's my best guess. So that's listen. I'm nervous with my hands. I'm so excited about that. Okay. Well, that's my good news. Let me tell you David's good news. Well, his birthday was Monday. Bless his heart, had COVID on his birthday. Anyway, he has been looking for months for a 69 Camaro. Now, he wants it as a project car. He don't want a 69 Camaro that you just get and drive around. He wants one that's just all, to pieces, except for a good body, good bones, but that he's got to fix the rest of the way. He wants a project car. He wants something to go out there and work on and to say he did it. Well, he has been looking and looking and looking. Well, he'll call me in there every now and then and look at one. And we decided on a number that we were willing to spend and not go over. Well, he couldn't find one that, was the body was too messed up, or they wanted too much money, or whatever. And then he found one. He goes, well, look at this. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, what year is this? He goes, a 70. I said, no. He goes, well, I can't find a 69 that I want or is in my price range. I'm like, I don't care. You're not buying this one. Your dream car is a 69, and a 69 you shall have. I said, it'll show up. Just give it time. You don't need it tomorrow. You'll find one, but you're not buying this. He goes, well, No. I'm like, no. I refuse to let him. I just flat out told him. And I don't normally tell him what to do. Well, sometimes. But I told him, no, you're not. You're not, because then you'll be stuck with it. And if the 69 comes along, you'll be sick to your stomach because you'll be stuck with the 70 that is nothing. It is not what you want. Okay. Well, he kept looking. There was one he had looked at that was up for bid, and he just kept looking at it, but he never bid on it. And I don't know why. He just didn't. And he kept looking at it, and it was up for it's on eBay Motors, like a 7-day auction. Well, he went back to look at it again, and it was gone. Well, he goes back, and he keeps doing his same search. 69, Super Sport, blah, 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 project cars. Then it popped up again with a buy it now amount. He come in there, he goes, honey, he goes, that car's back. He goes, but he's got it for a buy it now and not bid. Buy it now, make best offer. Make an offer. I'm like, well, apparently he didn't get what he wanted on the bidding. And instead of putting it back, because you have like how many everyday listing you choose on eBay, because I used to sell on eBay. That's where the majority of my cookbooks went. You have pick how many days you want to list it, and then at the end of that time period, you can relist it if you want to, or just not fool with it anymore. So I guess since he didn't get the reserve he wanted, instead of relisting it and going through that again and not meeting it, he thought, I'll just put it on here. If somebody wants to buy it, they'll buy it. I'll get out of what I want. So I told David, I said, get up. I sat down at the computer. I clicked on make an offer. I put in a number. I said, you want to do it? He's like, well, I don't know. I'm like, do you like this car? Do you want this car? He's telling me all about it. He said it's got so-and-so. It's exactly what he wanted. It's got this. It's got that. He's like, let's do it. So we click make an offer. And the reason I tell him to get up is because he is not that great with computers, and he'll click something wrong. I got experience with this man. He'll click something wrong in a heartbeat. I tell him all the time, just quit clicking stuff. Just stop it. And he's got to where now he's not is naive about scammers on the internet, and he'll call me in here. Is this up and up? Just to make sure. And sometimes it is, and sometimes it ain't. So I told him, I said, you should get an email that you have activity on your eBay so you can check your email. Or we clicked on make an offer, and it says, give the buyer 24 hours before they get back to you. But it would also give you the, if the if the seller wrote a message back, you would get it if you clicked on make an offer. So I told him, I said, you can do either way. So it wasn't long. He went in there and he checked it. He goes, I ain't heard nothing yet. So he went back in there and he goes, I ain't heard nothing yet. And he clicked on it. He said, well, he got back to me. And it wasn't long. It was maybe an hour. He got back to me. I'm like, well, I was back here in my room. I'm like, hold on. I go hobbling up there. So I'm like, let me see. And I looked on there. I said, get up. So he counteroffered back. And David was like, oh, I'm not going that high. So we counteroffered him back. Well, he was sitting at the computer. He was ready to dicker. He counteroffered us back. And David was like, So we counteroffered him back. He counteroffered us back $1,000 more than what we agreed to spend. And David's like, should I dicker with him for $500? Because he's going to take $500 off of it, right? I'm like, no, just buy it. He's like, but that's more. I'm like, honey, it's $1,000. I know $1,000 is a lot of money, but I said, is this the car you want? Do you want this car? He goes, honey, it's going to be a good car. When I get through with it, it'll be worth a lot more than I paid for it. Even though it wasn't cheap. He has done so much for our family and other people that it's time he enjoyed his own self. I said, you want to do it? He looked at me. I went up there. I said, accepted whatever it said, or accept the offer, whatever it said, and it come right back. It said, your offer of blank has been accepted. He looked at me and I looked at him. I'm like, honey, and we're like, honey, he accepted. He's like, oh my gosh, he is freaking out. He was at a loss for words. The man was so emotional because he was like, I never thought I would ever in my wildest dreams own a 69 Camaro. Much less it's like a, I don't know, what do you call it? Super Sport, 396, big block, I don't know. Some of you guys out there, you know, it's the real deal. And he had already checked the VIN, so all the codes on the VIN number pan out. It's exactly what it's supposed to be. So he got his 69 Camaro on his birthday. One of the happiest men. He still ain't believed it. He's like, I just can't believe it. He'll say it every day. He goes, he ain't slept. His wheels are turning. His wheels are turning about what he's going to do. He knows where he's going to start. He's got some rust he needs to get rid of. He's been checking out YouTube videos. Oh, he's been on that computer. Well, he's been on that computer for a good solid month every day. And a week of it was going back and looking at that Camaro, looking at the pictures. You can make them, blow up. I bet he blew up every square inch of every single. The man had a lot of pictures. It is a body, and the body looks good. David said they'd already worked on the trunk, so the trunk is fixed. I mean, obviously it needs paint job. That'll be the last thing we do. But it has the original interior, seats, dash, gauges, console thingy, all that stuff. There's some motor parts, which the whole motor has to be rebuilt, transmission and everything like that. So it did not come as a ready-to-drive car. It came as a do-it-yourself. And he is so excited. He cannot wait to he's like, get me some lights in there. He said, build me a wall in between your side and my side so your side don't get messed up. I'm like, that sounds good to me. Build that wall and put me a door in it and stay out. My side's full of me and the kids stuff. His side looks nice and neat. My side looks like a tornado struck it. It's terrible. But so he got that, and we were like, okay. The man said either pick it up or he has ways to arrange for it to be shipped to you. And we were like, well, if he can't do that, it was in Iowa. The car's in Iowa, and y'all know we're in North Carolina. So we looked it up, and roughly a 2-day one-way trip. So he's like, we'll go get it. I'm like, yes, we will. We will take a road trip. So he talked to the guy on the phone. When we won it, he said, well, we gave him, his phone number and call me. What would be the best way you want your payment, etc. So they talked on the phone, and the man said, yes, he has brokers that will find somebody to bring the car to you. Well, he talked to the woman yesterday, and she says she found somebody that wants to bring it, and they quoted us a price, which will probably be as much as it would take to rent the U-Haul and the dolly and rent a car up there, because it'd be cheaper to rent a car up there, stay in a motel on the way, eat all our meals out, then get up there, get the U-Haul and the dolly, or either a truck and a dolly, I don't know, whatever we weren't sure how the parts were going to be, but the man said he put all the parts back in it and put the hood back on it. So they would just bring the car and all the parts inside of it. So it was going to maybe be a little bit more, but for the headache and having to miss work and all that, we just like, let them bring it. So she said she found somebody. She told him yesterday it could be Friday or Saturday. Yes, 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 yes. And the man said as soon as he got the payment, he would stick the title in FedEx. So we're waiting on that. So we're excited. We are excited. He I said, is your bay ready? He goes, oh, it's ready. But he's got a couple riding lawnmowers in there. One of them he's got to get rid of because he's got to make room to set the parts. He's got to make room for the seats and all the parts to lay out while he's working on it. They got to get out of the car. So he's got to get one of the riding lawnmowers out of there. I think he's going to try to sell it because he piddles on them. Just broken down lawnmowers, he works on them. He loves to piddle in the garage. He loves to do Kannapolis stuff. You know what I'm saying? He loves to. He rebuilt his truck, our date truck. He rebuilt that whole thing. He put a new transmission in his Honda. He just loves to do that. He just loves. Listen, one of the kids, if one of the cars that ever broke down, he might act like he's busy, but he eats it up. So that is all my news today. I thought it was a very good day of exciting news. So that's all I'm going to talk about today, I think. Was that all I'm going to talk about? Yeah, I think so. So as soon as I get a surgery date, I will let y'all know. I cannot wait. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I would just be not a nervous wreck to have the surgery because I'm not nervous to have the surgery. I'm ready. I'm ready. Just a nervous wreck waiting, anxiously waiting. So that's all I know for today. I don't know when I'll see you next. I don't have anything planned except for meal prep. I got a meal prep planned. So I guess maybe I'll see you Saturday. And then, yeah. And then I don't know after that. We'll just have to see. So that's all for me today. And I'll see you in my next video.